Good morning, everyone. We are into the beautiful, happy days of the month of Adar, the month that we have to be in a great simcha, as we say, Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. When Adar comes in, we all should be in a great simcha and joy. I just heard from someone just downstairs something very interesting. He said Adar is Aleph, Dar. Aleph is God, Alufa Shalom. Dar, He lives with us. So Adar means that God is with us. So that's what it means. So for sure this is a time for great, beautiful simcha to be. And as we know, the Rebbe keeps on going, especially in the year 1992, when it was a double Adar. He was speaking about the idea of Adar, of the Simcha, when there's 2 months of Adar, 60 days of Simcha, 60 days of joy, that the 60 days overcomes the negative. As we know that something impure falls into something pure, something not kosher falls into kosher. If the 60 times the positive over the negative, the positive takes over, and that's the same idea of the 60 days of the month of Adar, 60 days of Simcha takes over any negative. That's the month of Adar. Okay. But in the same time, we're still in exile. As we know about Purim too, was a great miracles, but we're still in exile. And it's hard to be b'simcha in exile, but we have to do it anyway. How do we do it? So there is a very beautiful, very short, beautiful idea in this 6 parshas we're learning about building of the Mishkan. So we're learning about the Atzei Shittim. I think Atzei Shittim is cedar wood, but whatever the meaning of Shittim means, but this is the wood that build the Mishkan. So Rashi quotes from the Medrash of Rav Tanchuma, and he says there that Yaakov Avinu, when he came down to Egypt, he brought these trees with him, he planted in Egypt, and then they took this wood out with them to build the Mishkan. The Rebbe once spoke about a very long, beautiful idea, but just in short, beautiful thought, beautiful lesson. Why did Yaakov Avinu have to take wood from Israel down to Egypt, planted in Egypt, to grow for so many years, then later, hundreds of years later, to bring it out to the desert to build the Mishkan? You could just buy it next door. As many other commentaries say, there was a forest of Atzei Shittim in there. Or they could buy by the neighbors. There's many ways that it gets Atzei Shittim. Yaakov Avinu had to bring it down hundreds of years before, plant it in Egypt, and then chop it, take it out of Egypt, and take it with him. What was this whole idea? So the Rebbe explains it's a beautiful thought. Yaakov Avinu knew that Am Yisrael is going to be in Golus for all these years in Egypt. It's going to be hard. It's tough. How are you going to stay b'simcha? How are you going to stay focused? It's going to be good. Mashiach is coming. We're getting out of Golus. How are we going to do it? What does Yaakov Avinu do? He takes those trees from Israel. He plants it in Egypt. When he plants it, for what? For when we go out of Egypt, we'll use this wood to build a Mishkan. And the reason why he does that is all the kinderlach, all the kids, all the adults, boys and girls, looking at those trees and asking, what is those trees? When the parents are telling them, this is our great, great, great leader, Yaakov Avinu. He planted it in Egypt. And the reason he planted it is because one day when we get out, we'll have to take it with us to build a temple. The little kids look at the trees and say, wow, as it's hard right now, but the redemption is coming. They saw those trees, the Rebbe says. They saw the trees, they saw the redemption. And that's what Yaakov Avinu wanted to inspire every one of us. While we were in Egypt, the redemption is coming. Look at those trees, the redemption is coming. And this is the beautiful idea why Yaakov Avinu worked so hard to bring those trees from Israel down to Egypt, planted for all these years, just to give us inspiration. In time of exile, think Mashiach is coming, think Geula is coming, we're getting out, we'll have to take those trees with us. And this is exactly what the Rebbe tells us in this time. With the month of Adar, we have to be b'simcha. It's so hard, it's galus. But the Rebbe, as we know, is a Nasi. A Nasi means the leader of the generation. And it's written in the Kabbalah books. Nasi is an acronym, means Nuna, Shina, Yud, Aleph. Nasi means Nitzotzo Shel Yaakov Avinu. A Nasi means he has the spark, Nitzotz Shel of Yaakov Avinu. So if you're a Nasi, means you have the spark of Yaakov Avinu. And this is the Rebbe being the Nasi of our generation. What is he telling us? The same thing. Look, see, in exile, Mashiach is coming. We're getting out. Let's get inspired. Let's be b'simcha. It's the month of Adar. The redemption is coming. Give us a good Shabbos and great simcha this month.